Hello and welcome to the Alternative Commentary Collective Agenda podcast to the 20th of Jan.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
Greetings and welcome along to the Agenda with myself, G-Lane, and James McOnie. Just me and you.
Yeah.
Just me and you.
There's no Matt Heath. He is in Dunners. He's trying to catch up with some old flames, just phoning them up randomly.
Well, I'd like to think he's doing that, but I'm pretty sure he's just staying with his dad and he's taking his kids down and just having a wholesome time playing croquet.
Is he though?
Because Professor Heath, he is the groundsman at the local croquet club down there.
I love a good game of croquet.
Yeah, but a bit of controversy down there in the croquet club because they're converting it into a beach volleyball court.
Oh.
Which has gone down well with some of the members.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean.
Professor Heath would be on board.
Yep.
His son would be.
Given the uniform regulations in beach volleyball, I'd say that there'd be quite a few pro that down there in the Dunedin Croquet Club. So no Matt Heath today. He'll be back next week. Big news though, if we go around the world. It is. Well, this is not round the world, really. Round the world agenda. This is close to home. Tour cancelled, James McOnie.
Yeah, the Black Caps, they're not going to Australia. Someone shut them down. They can't get MIQ spots. It's just an absolute palaver. But do you know what? I am mainly gutted just for Ross. For Ross, it was going to be, he was going, wasn't he?
Who knows? Because they said they were going to have to send a whole different squad to the test squad.
But
it would have been Ross Taylor.
Would have been. He's played his last test. So I just wanted Ross to go over there and just say, you know, like one last great innings against the old foe would have been a nice little farewell on that front. Because as a one day batsman, he's even better. His stats, I think an average of 48 or something in 1 day.
Can we just send him over in a boat? It doesn't take too long to get over there in a boat, does it? A couple of days? Couple of days?
If he could do some, like, if he's got a tight 5 minutes of stand-up, he could probably go on a cruise. And then what they do is...
If he could run the cabaret.
But you have to do a family-friendly, like kid-friendly 5 minutes as well. So you've got to take out all your F's and C's and your tits and bums, and you've got to go, okay, here's what we do now. What
comedian does that?
Taryn Mahambai.
Who's that?
Taryn. Oh, legend of comedy. An absolute... he was part of those Indian guys and had a deranged marriage. It was a stage show for a while. And his partner in that is the guy on the ANZ cricket ad where he goes, he'll play for India one day.
Ah, okay.
And then he turns and he says, I've got a New Jersey, Black Caps.
And so does he drive a cruise ship?
Yeah, one of them drives the cruise ship and the other guy does the stand-up. It's a good deal.
But so that tour is canned. It said it's postponed, but I can't see that ever happening again. They're obliged apparently to come over here and play, but to host us over there. But I doubt that's going to. But as a flow-on effect, there's no MIQ rooms booked for Australia when they're due to return here in March.
Right.
So there is a fat chance in hell that's going ahead either, because given that the bit of COVID chat earlier, given that there's no rooms currently all on hold, I don't think they're going to get. Aussies aren't going to come back.
Was the March one, was that going to be T20s or one day?
Yes, it was.
T20s.
3 T20s, 2 in Wellington and 1 somewhere else. It was going to be a double header in Wellington. Bang, bang, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday. So that was going to be good. But so that
means...
Or
is it's known as Shane Warne? I don't know if he's ever done
double ender or double banger?
Double header.
So that leaves South Africa for 2 test matches in mid-Feb and Schmoke and the Pancakes, the Dutch. Are coming out for 4 one-dayers, the Schmoke and the Pancakes. I've got an idea. I'm really looking forward to the Dutch tour, purely because I think we should get fully in behind the Dutch. We should fully ditch the Black Caps and all of New Zealand get in behind. We should have cricket clogs. We should get clogs with spikes on. We should all dress
tulips.
up. Yep, all throw tulips around. Everyone bring brownies to the games. They don't have to have anything in them, but just brownies.
Or a pole, and you dance around it. Like, Jacinda could actually change it all to red light district. Currently, it's only Northland, but the whole country could be a red light district.
Goes into red. Everyone wear their Tui T-shirts again to the cricket.
Because they're orange?
Yes, correct. I think we should just go full circle on the tour and have 20,000 people packed into Wellington cheering on the Dutch and the Schmoke and the Pancakes.
All the gingers can cut their ears off.
Yep.
like Van Gogh. Why not?
And lock themselves in cellars.
Bearded gingers.
Lock themselves in attics.
Hey, we've got a bearded ginger as well. We've got Joe Jury.
Oh, yeah. We can roll him out.
We could do it.
We have to cut his ear off, though.
We could just put we could put a little bandage on him and just do the Dutch, kind of like how stressful it is being a Dutch cricketer.
Well, there's all sorts of things.
Listening
The
to
Dutch. There's the Dutch rudder.
The ACC is Vincent Van Gogh. Just one headphone.
But I'm keen to enforce the
Van
great.
Gogh.
I'm keen to enforce the great leveler. If you play golf with Jeremy Wells, if he's losing, he brings out the great leveler, which is a massive joint.
Right.
And so he calls it the great leveler, which he says levels the playing field. So he brings that out. So my idea is the New Zealand cricket team go full Stephen Fleming, Dion Nash, and get
Matthew
on
Hart.
Matthew Hart, and just get on it before the match, just to even the playing field, get baked, have a schmoke and a pancake, and then come out and play the Dutch.
Are we going to redo that referendum? I'd like to know. Are we going to? I think. Can we get Jacinda on this podcast, because I want to know whether last time they tried to legalise it, and of course it got shot down. But I reckon if they went to criminalise, because I know there's a lot of boomers getting into growing it because of their aches and pains.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, well, I'm a good gardener.
Yeah.
I can make that. That's a lovely little plant. I'll just put it over there by the geraniums and over by the chrysanthemums.
And they grow like goddamn weeds here.
Yeah.
It's like the hops. Have you ever tried to grow hops? Same variant, but make beer out of it.
Yeah.
Grows like a bloody weed.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well,
Terrible to smoke hops, though. Terrible to smoke. But smoking a pancake. So 4-1 days. That's going to be interesting. But gutted that series in Aussie, because we were commentating that series in Aussie starting next weekend, and it was on Sky Sport, and we were commentating on iHeartRadio, and they fucking cancelled it. Motherfuckers. Good news, though, for the big Super Bash. What's it called?
Super Smash.
Super Smash. Good for the Smashies, because the final's coming up, so it gives a bit of focus on the Smashies.
Wow, that Michael Bracewell innings is kind of like with all the people ducking for cover at Pukekura Park in New Plymouth. That sort of got people talking. And there's that American influencer, John Boy, who's taken a special interest in cricket, watching the Super Smash. Have you seen his videos?
No. What?
He goes through them ball by ball.
Oh, and
saying,
explains?
This is Trevor Bolt. Now, he's mainly a bowler or pitcher, and then he's going to hit 6 runs, which is over the boundary like a home run off the last ball. And then he talks his way through it. He's bloody good, actually. He's very talented. Mainly does American sport, loves his baseball, and he's getting into it. And I can tell Scotty J is enjoying the attention, because he's talking about John Boy on the broadcast. So he's got about, I don't know how many millions. I'll check it out, but it's at least 400,000 followers on some platforms. But
the minute piece too. The minute piece is going pretty well in the Super Smash. He's smoking it for Northern District. So good that there'll be a few names in there. They won't be headed to Aussie next week as planned. So that's good for the Super Smash. Coming up.
Wait a second.
Yep.
John Boy Media. 399,000 followers on Instagram, and that's JOM for Mary Boy. John Boy Media. He's bloody big, I tell you. And for him to take an interest in cricket and decide, because he could go for the Big Bash, but no, he's talking Super Smash. Yeah,
the Big Bash. Shit, the bed. Did you see Maxwell? Glenn, the Big Show, 150. Fucking me.
But that's the same as Bracewell. Wasn't Bracewell about the same?
They scored 260. They scored so much, 240 odd or something. Yeah, but it was. But I feel like it's not quite the same at Pukekura Park as it is over in Aussie. It's nothing against Bracewell's effort, but the Big Show.
Yeah,
it was the Big Show. Are you still looking up John Boy Media?
No.
I
might actually.
Can I talk about a couple of other guys on social media as well? And have you seen those young Aussie kids who lip sync great commentary moments?
Yes.
They are sensational. I've got some big news coming out for that as well.
The guy with the mullet, he's outstanding.
the two brothers with the mullets and the piercing blue eyes. If you jump on our social, you'll see what I mean. And they recently commentated the Super Over when we lost, and Ian Smith in tears, and Nasser Hussain coming in and going,
"Oh, really?
It's okay. England deserve the win." It's like, fuck it, I can't. Anyway, it's a great watch, but they have got hold of Jason Hoyt's Hairy Javelin 6 call.
Have they?
So that might be coming as to the World Test Championship victory where we ripped his shirt off and got his titties out. So look out there. Hopefully those boys
Are you doing a collab?
We're doing a collab. We're collabing.
Wow, look at you. Look at you, the ACC head, Mike Lane. Spreading your wings.
Well, it's not me. It's Joe Jury that's doing all that.
Spreading Joe Jury's wings.
He's spreading his seed.
Yeah.
We collab all the time. We collab all the time.
I like what you're
we
doing.
collab all over people's face.
This John Boy guy has eluded you, though, because he's got 400,000 people out there.
Well,
399,000.
listening to his outs and his home runs. Hey, Ashes all over. Thoughts?
England was shite, disappointingly so. Feels like they've got to move on to a new. First of all, they need to find spin bowlers as well. Just the fact that they were too scared to play a spinner in one test.
Poor Jack Leach.
Yeah.
Why bring him?
They didn't.
One pitch that turned, they dropped him because he got tonked the one before.
Yeah, no, it was weird that they even considered that, because that was Adelaide, of course, where it always turns a bit, and they went nah. So there's zero confidence there, and it just feels like, okay, the Milan experiment probably worked. Who's the T20 batter? But it's kind of in the early stages of it, like they're expecting things to happen straight away, and I just think maybe just go and work on the makeup. And you've got the two legends there with Anderson and Broad, and even though I still think they're outstanding, they probably need a rebuild on the bowling front as well.
Well, Joffrey
scary rebuild.
Archer, they missed Archer massively, and I love in the post tour report they said that Robinson was too fat. He was out of shape and too fat.
So why no Jofra?
They fat shamed him. They wouldn't let him. He refused to take a fat test during the tour because they said it was fat shaming.
Who, Jofra?
No.
But
Robinson.
Why no Jofra?
Oh, he's injured.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I was saying they missed him on that tour, but good to see some good old-fashioned binge drinking though post Ashes series.
Yeah.
Up all night on the balcony of the hotel, and the police were called at 6 a.m. to send them back to bed, and they were all still in their whites, which is reminiscent of Richard Hadley when he used to go out in his whites after a test match, full whites with spikes and drink in the pub.
But back in the day as well, there was no name on your back, and it looked like a business shirt, really. You could sit down.
True.
Maybe the sweatbands will give it away, those two wristbands.
And the fact he'd walk into the pub clonking along on his spikes. Clink, 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 clink.
Jofra Archer, I think Ross Taylor told me this story because he knew Jofra. They played in the same county team briefly, and before England played New Zealand in that World Cup, that terrible World Cup, Ross is warming up, and Jofra comes over and goes, "You got any spare tickets?" Like that's because his family had turned up and with a couple of mates, and he wanted to.
Oh, for the final.
No, for I think the game they're actually playing, and Ross is going, I'm warming up, and I'm gonna go and freaking face you in about 15 minutes. I'm shitting my pants here. So no, sorry, not right now.
That's like
otherwise I would have helped you out. But he's like, you got any tickets?
That's the same as I think they asked Coley about the tickets. Is there a lot of supporters here? People ask for tickets, and he's got a golden rule. He just gives no one any tickets because he says as soon as you open the floodgates, it's too hard to manage. So he just gives no tickets to anybody.
Well, how would exactly? It's too hard.
The requests would come in thick and fast.
So that's a good segue into Coley.
Gomberger as captain.
Yeah,
as captain. It's kind of it was coming. It was coming. No doubt that Joe Jury, the webmaster for the ACC, would have put an inflammatory post out at some stage and get a flood of death threats again. But that's what he likes to do.
I put him up to one post as well, and he goes,
"Oh, it's your fault."
What's that?
You're feeding the beast.
No, but he did it even worse because I just said, "What about?" It was something where he put out Coley as being Kane's. Kind of like, was it? Did Kane have on a leash? Or something?
that was the Tiger King, Carol Baskin, her husband on the leash, and it had the arrow. The original one was the arrow to Carol Baskin saying Cole Jameson, and the arrow to her husband on all fours dressed as a lion said Coley. That's the one that got the first flood of death threats.
Yeah. So that wasn't me, but then there was another one that I said that he should do, and he goes, "Yes." Like this.
And was it Williamson being Carol Baskin? Or?
No, I don't think it was a Lion King one. Mine was probably a bit more basic about the Coley front, but in the end, Coley. We had his number. The poor guy. That what do you call it? Like Test Championship. he just showed himself to be more than eccentric, because without all the crowds, you could hear every single utterance.
Yeah.
And he is quite over the top and intense. And I think that maybe there's something to be said for saying, hey, you're a genius at cricket. We still love you, but can we just have someone else doing all that other stuff, the nuts and bolts?
And you can remember in that World Test Championship final, there was one Kiwi supporter who was living in his head.
Yeah, George Harper was sledging him.
Yeah, and he got in his head.
Kohli pretty much responded to him every single time there was a wicket. He was pretty much pointed to this one guy in the stands. I think he had the floaties on.
He had a snorkel and mask on and all sorts. Yeah, it was that kind of shows that it was put a bit too far in terms of, because he loves doing it in India. He loves turning to the crowd in India and just doing this, and riling them up, but not so much. So it looks like
he can still do that as a player.
Yeah.
People will love him. I mean, you look at the
he
boundary.
needs to score some runs.
Did you see in the Ashes over in Hobart? They've got that family section, and it's kind of like the one place where you go, wow, Australians just behaving normally at the cricket. This is kind of weird. And so
it's like they're all sedated. You
get a free pass. Yeah, exactly. Like anyone who goes out to the boundary and fields in that the family section, it's such a holiday for them. Because it's just this kind of utopian little oasis out there, and then the rest of it is like, piece off, you're a wanker. The whole shebang.
They're all probably NPCs. They're non-playing characters. They're just all just going backwards and forwards. They're all just animated. Yeah,
just
they're
animated,
NPCs.
just swaying a little bit, waiting for their chance.
And then 5 meters away, there's dingoes smashing peace and making cup snakes. I'm loving the return of the cup snake as well, and the mount, the cup snake, the kids getting into it and encouraging recycling. So there was and because there used to be a time where they banned the cup snake in Australia, and New Zealand followed suit and banned the cup snake because they said it. Like everything falls back to encourages dangerous and irresponsible drinking. It's no, it's not. It's recycling. We're getting all the cups together.
We're getting green.
We're going green. And I remember in Adelaide, we got it was the first pink ball test, and we knew that there was a cup snake ban. But we got all the cups together, and we got all these dingoes involved, and we'd start a cup snake, and then a security would come, and the chant would go around the stand, goes, "You can't stop the snake. You can't stop the snake.
Yeah.
You can't stop the snake. You can't stop the snake." And the security would come and take a small snake, and take it away, and then someone would lift another one, and the whole crowd would go, "You can't stop the snake. You can't stop the snake." It was very good. It actually brought supporters together. It brought Australia and New Zealand together, and the common enemy was security and the stupid rules. It was heartwarming. It was heartwarming.
It is actually good. I do not mind the banter between Australia and New Zealand. It's good natured, really. It's not so bad.
It can get there's elements from both sides, really.
We're the problem, aren't we?
No, not really. When you go to Australia, it's a different level. Like, Aussies come here and they'll get a little bit of abuse from someone, and someone will overhear it and go, "Oh, you're embarrassing. That's embarrassing." It'll go to the media, and we're a disgrace.
No,
but in Aussie, it's relentless. It is relentless. Man, you fucking sheep fuckers, mate, go fuck some sheep, mate. Nah. It's like constant. And you're like, "Oh, mate, fucking grow one. Jesus Christ, we fuck them, you eat them. So shut the fuck up."
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you're eating that jizz-filled roast right now. Look, I think that my issue, what I noticed with a lot of Australians is that I didn't realise you guys hated us so much. Oh, okay.
It's very much a little brother, big brother.
In London,
and we know
in London, it's all that's put aside when you go to the outback in Shepherd's Minge. Shepherd's Bush. In the bush, and you just get together, and it's like, oh, you know what? We're all going to sing this Hunters and Collectors song together. And you throw
your arms around me, and then we will never. And then we all light our pubes on fire and smash snake bites. That's pretty much how that goes.
Yeah.
So,
okay, that's Cricky. Cricky is done, and I guess Rahana, who presided over the miracle of the Gabba.
Yeah, the miracle of the Gabba.
What a great win that was. And they probably are in the same boat as England, where, are they doing a bit of a make India great again, which is a mega, and then England is doing a mega, make England great again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see it. So in other news, return of Cool Runnings.
Yes, Jamaica has 3 teams in the bobsled. They've got the 4-man, they've got the 2-man, and they've got the women's single monobob.
What? What's a monobob?
Single bob down the hole. The
So what?
chute.
They just flying down in a like condom?
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
I think-
There's a little. No, you've got to have a bobsled.
So what, is that replacing the skeleton? I love
skeleton
I
is
love
the
the
front
skeleton. I love the skeleton. I love the double skeleton, where you lie on top of the other dude in a skin tight
Oh, that's the double luge.
double luge. Sorry, and you lie on top of the other, and you lock yourself in to the other dude,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
You sit on him, and then you lie back.
You dock, and well, there's sort of dock on the other. You dock on the cock,
Yeah.
and you. No, the thing about the double luge is, like I've said, imagine if our greatest Olympians were the double luge. If Bond and Murray were double lugers, then would we be so Halberg every single time? Has to be those double lugers going down interlocked into each other. Because the thing about it is, yes, it's a really hard sport to win. You're actually dicing with death. It's one of the most dangerous sports. But I just don't. There's a level, I think, to New Zealanders going, we're so proud of what you do, to going on a slide,
Yeah.
with on top of it,
on top of each other. Why don't they go? I want them to mix it up, because they go. You go on their back, and then the other person lies on their back. I think they should go either 69
yeah, they
or front on front. So your guy lies down, you lie on top of them, and you're looking them in the face.
You're hugging as you
yeah,
go.
and you're just going down backwards.
Well, 69 would probably make sense, because you've got one person who's kind of looking ahead and going, turn the bloody thing, and the other person who's controlling the back.
Turn
the fucking thing.
And he's like got the legs. He's just like
Left. Well, did you see there was something that happened? Something ended up on the luge track the other day. I can't remember. It might have made it on Crowd Goes Wild. It wasn't fatal, so it was just a rogue hat or scarf or something that ended up out on the, and it creates a lot of carnage, because the person goes, "Uh-oh, gonna have to dodge this." I don't know. Was it? Or was it an animal of some kind?
it could have been a marmot.
Yeah.
A marmot up in France and Austria. So that the Winter Olympics is not far away, is it?
No.
In Beijing, it's in a few weeks, I think.
Starts February the 4th.
Yeah.
So I know that everybody for Waitangi Day will be watching the Winter Olympics on Sky.
Well, there's a little bit more interest for us now, isn't it? Because we've actually got medal contenders in the ski half pipe and the snowboarding.
Yeah,
we've
outstanding.
got some players.
Is it the new latest snowboard sensation, Cool Wakashima, has qualified?
A fucking cool name too.
Yeah, it
isn't
is, eh?
Fucking, he should be fucking cool, Tsushima.
Can you remember this?
Is that Tsushima?
It's a girl and a woman, and it's Wakashima, I think.
Wakashima.
But anyway, I remember when the name For Real was said you couldn't have it because it had a number in it.
What if he just said FOUR?
Well, they needed to do that. They
REL.
couldn't have a number. There's an A1 who plays, a kid called A1 who plays for Hastings Boys High in rugby, and a pretty good player, A1. And then there's
don't tell me the sisters and brothers are called A2 and A3. Or,
no, it's like A1, the best. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was
And
just a
then-
numbering system for
No,
the
it's
children.
not,
If you had
it's
like
not.
9 of them, A1, A2, A3, A4.
And then B4 for the
Yeah,
one who's
yeah,
the
yeah.
most studious.
Yeah.
Um,
The runt is B4.
So you've got like I think the band, you can't have a royal name at the start. You can't call yourself Prince,
Or
blah blah
Sir,
blah,
or
or Sir. So there's a few restrictions, and the numbers is another one. And I think maybe offensive. I'm not sure. But
What?
they don't draw the line at too many things.
Like, cool's okay.
Cool is
I
absolutely
reckon
fine.
awesome would be better.
Awesome Wakashima.
Yeah.
Well, she could be.
Awesome
After-
Wakashima. Or like, yeah.
Well, it's a good.
Awesome McOnie.
It makes sense for her sport though, right?
Yeah.
Because she's
'Cause
winter.
Yeah.
And it's one of those sports, snowboarding. You're cool, aren't you?
I do. I enjoy the Winter Olympics. I enjoy the fact that the snowboarders and the kind of extreme skiers look like they're having fun, and if they lose, it's not a big petty. It's not like I feel like the Summer Olympics, it's all a bit too serious. Whereas they get criticised for it. They got criticised for the not caring, but they're like, okay, we could go.
The Winter Olympics are weird because there are events where you're absolutely transfixed by it, and then you realise that one thing happens and everything goes out the window. And I'm talking about Australia's classic Stephen Bradbury winning gold in the short track men's skating,
Speed
skating, where everybody fell over, and he pretty much was the last man standing and crossed the line going. But he was also, look at his face was like, I guess I win gold. They go upstairs to the fourth umpire or whatever, and third umpire, and they go, in this particular event, doesn't fracking matter. Give it to the Aussie. And the other people who got silver were the guys who got up and scrambled across the line, a bit like Talladega Nights, where Ricky Bobby and Jean Girard are sort of like racing.
Jean Girard. And then pashed at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Great
was,
movie.
I remember that because Apollo Ono was the big star from America against this Korean dude, South Korean guy. And that was a massive rivalry, and they both took each other out. And then old Stephen Bradbury, who could barely skate, like he was pretty much like the guy turning up, at the disco, the roller disco, going, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing.
And also, the event I like is the cross-country ski with the shooting.
Yes, the biathlon.
The biathlon. I think they should, given my experience in skiing and any sort of snow sports, I think they should add a couple more in there. Like each round you have to do a shot of schnapps out of your ski pole. And then you have to shoot, and then schnapps.
It's all about the heart rate and the shooting and stuff. But the lying down and shooting, I've had to go on the biathlon course at Vancouver or up in Whistler.
Yeah.
And it was...
How'd you go?
I didn't do any of the skiing. I just had a bit of shooting. Not too bad.
I think it should be a shotgun, and I think it should be off the hip as well.
Yeah.
So yes, they stop and go...
But
right
also
maybe...
maybe...
Right in the back, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator. They come out of the back, and they go... And he goes, and then gets back on. Doesn't make it,
and it's bank?
Because they're so pathetic. Because the guns are so pathetic. They're like, we talked about this in the Olympics, like the shooting.
You want cooler guns. Why don't you have a Dirty Harry? Because you should be shooting as you're skiing, I think.
Yeah, so yeah.
It should be a drive-by, yeah, exactly. As you're cruising by, it should be like, that's what you're doing.
On the move.
A ski-by.
Or an animal. Should just be an animal, just up a tree. Just blow it out of the tree. And then you got to skin it. And then you got to wear it.
Well, if it's Leanne Dalzell and she hosted the Winter Olympics in Christchurch, she would say, kill the geese.
Kill the geese, hates the geese.
Yeah.
The Canadian geese, they fucking suck. I reckon we should kill them too. Strip them all for their feathers and make some jackets.
There it is. Leanne, give us a yell. Host the Winter Olympics at an event.
Yep.
The geese cull.
The geese cull. And then, but a part of it is they have to pluck them and make some sort of ski jacket.
Either ski jacket or some sleeping bag that they can hop in, and then they finish the race going downhill in a sleeping bag, because you'd pick up some speed.
Oh yeah,
the downhill sleeping bag should actually be an event, because you've got the luge where it's all about sort of leaning into it, but if you put on a sleeping bag and went down a mountain, that would be compelling.
I totally agree, and I think get rid of the long jump with the skis and just create a ball pit, like create a big ball pit, and you just go down face first. And give it the full...
In a sleeping bag? Right. No,
or the human cannonball. You can do a sleeping bag you want, but full... And I think they can do flips and then land in a ball pit at the bottom.
I shouldn't laugh.
Or a snow pit.
There was actually a guy who died in a Zorb years ago, because they had a Zorb track in Russia, and they didn't allow for the bounceability of a Zorb, and it went rogue, and it was poor bugger.
Where did they drop it from? But they
it's
do it off
just
a ski
the top
jump.
of a ski field. It was pretty horrendous.
And what, did it pop, obviously, and then he just got slammed into a...
No, he disappeared down a gully. You just don't see the actual, but it's, that happened.
Well,
okay,
I think moral of the story is don't get into a Zorb in Russia. Don't do any extreme sports in Russia.
I think that's probably fair enough, because the zip line probably leads to some KGB dungeon or something like that.
It's like,
we've been expecting you. Please sit down. There are many potatoes for you to eat. And then there's some vodka, then you die. Tell us about your country with the homosexual law reform bill. No such thing here. But the thing is... No, yeah, exactly. They are just... I remember being shocked. I thought Russia was an anything goes country sexually, And if you look at their websites, you'd think...
Yeah, totally.
The wives are going, wow, here we go.
Yeah, well, the genres that they put out.
The
genres they put out.
But then they go, nah, that's it. We're drawing it. No, nyet. There's nothing here. Man on the man, never. Never man on man. But the thing is, I was really disappointed. I just went, okay, Russia, you lost me now because you're going to at least move with the times. I mean, I guess there'd be some, this is a weird thing where there's probably some Americans who are like, I'm with the riskies on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, Putin. Oh, Putin.
Oh, Putin, it's in the Bible. You are not to be doing it. Yeah.
Ain't nobody don't know Putin. Hey,
Putin knows what he's doing.
But he doesn't put it in the poo, though.
No, not in the poo, only in the putty.
Only in
Putin in the putty. That's what we do.
There's no poo on Putin. No poo on Putin. Is anyone going from the Crowd Goes Wild? You sent Wairangi Kopu to the last one. He froze his balls off over there.
He struggled
Shit,
because
he was cold. Every time he did it across to you, he was like...
He's got no fat on him. That's the issue. Like, they're asking me to go because obviously they want to do a Kung Fu Panda remake. But I'm like, hey, look, I could because of me with dumplings and chopsticks. It's a great scene. But that's only one story, right? And it's you got a fortnight of stuff to fill.
That could be the backbone of every story, though. You could start off every story with that.
Is a Kung Fu Panda with me and my big nappy. What is Kung Fu Panda wearing? Just are they big shorts? Is it a nappy? Is it
I don't think it's anything, is it?
He's got shorts.
No, Kung Fu Panda hasn't got anything.
He does
on.
have shorts.
No, he doesn't. Oh, does he have like a sumo sumo?
It's like a nappy. It's
like a sumo flap.
He's a Kung Fu Panda. He's not from Japan.
So is anyone going over? Surely you've seen some.
Oh, no one from Crowd Goes Wild. But the Sky people going over, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see some of your Sky favourites. Your Swanners, your McTainchers, your I don't know who else is going, but there's some obviously on the ground here. We'll probably have 3 or 4 reporters. Yeah, over there. Yeah.
Excellent. Also, and other news from around the world and close to home. RTS, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck confirmed to play number 12 this year for the Blues. So, following in the footsteps of Sexy Bill and playing inside centre, do you think that's a good choice?
Yeah, I think having him close to the action means that it's alarm bells early, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want because I think if you look at the way rugby's gone, yes, there is an argument for the crash and bash second 5, but as soon as you go to a higher level, unless you are Sonny Bill or Ma'anonu, you can see teams going, no, we need some finesse. We need somebody who can create something, break the line, all those different things. And I think Rogers is a good fit for number 12.
Defense-wise, though? Because, I didn't really follow the Warriors that much. But obviously, being fullback, you're not really in the line of defence a lot, are you? You're the last man. You're doing the covering tackle. You're smashing someone into the sideline. You haven't got, a fellow 110 kg inside centre running straight at you.
Yeah.
So that would be my only. But that's me with absolutely no expertise whatsoever.
I think what you have to do as fullback, being the last line, is still bloody tough because you do get the second. You get a Jason Taumalolo who's broken through.
Oh yeah.
And it's all on you, right? And it's just you and no one else. Whereas at least in second 5, you're defending, you're up in your threes, they're moving threes, and you try and shut down the space, and you're generally attacking with a buddy right next to you. You know what I mean? They do all that. I think he'll be able to handle the defence, no problem.
Yeah, he'll have Dalton Papali'i on his inside the whole time as well.
It's the recycling of the ball in close quarters that'll. But he was an outstanding rugby player before he got signed or poached by league.
Rugby league. Hey, and just finish off the finalists for the New Zealand Sports Moment of the Year. James McOnie doesn't feature anything from Crowd Goes Wild or the Agenda podcast, which is a bit of a fuck, isn't it?
What the hell?
That sucks. But surely it's got to be Black Caps Ross Taylor hitting the winning runs for the inaugural ICC World Test Championship for New Zealand against India at Southampton in June. It's got to be that. There's like 10 of them. I think the public can vote on these, I think. So I'll go through them. There's the Nico Proteas and Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott. Who won gold on the FIS World Championships in Aspen. That was good.
Yeah.
Team New Zealand, drama, winning the America's Cup. The men's rowing 8 in Tokyo. That's going to be good. But I think they've had their time in the sun. Blackfern Sevens winning gold. Old Twiggy, the Twigster, winning gold. Hayden winning bronze. Ruby Tui giving the hard case interviews. Oh, Trampolini
Schmitty on the bounce.
with the bronze. Why they're all half of them are all Olympics, and
It was
the
Olympic year, wasn't
the
it?
goat in a boat in Tokyo. So just to break the mold, it's got to go to the Black Caps. God, I don't think we're ever going to do that again ever. We're going to win another gold at Olympics for sure. But
In terms of a moment, to be honest, I think the best moment of those. Well, let's
There's 10
break
of
it
them.
down. I think there's a. To me, Team New Zealand, they were already in a dominant position, right? So, I mean, oh no, that was race 8. So was that a clincher? Was it? I can't even remember that.
Drama in race 8. I don't know. In the final to beat Luna Rossa. Yeah, I don't know. Was it race 8? It can't have been. It must have been the deciding one.
When you were calling it, I know it was considered a fait accompli. You'd even prepared some commentary.
Yeah, I had.
So I think that was already a done deal.
Oh, was that the one? The great comeback? Is that that's when Luna Rossa were winning by miles? Not Luna Rossa. It was Luna Rossa. Yeah, and they fell off their foils. Remember?
Yeah.
And we stayed on ours, and we drove past them going.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. It's like, okay, yeah, they were becalmed. But look, to be honest, I think that rowing golden hour was amazing because Emma Twigg had the disappointment of 2 4th placings or whatever in the Olympics and never been on the podium, and suddenly, boom, she wins gold.
Well,
everyone goes.
They didn't group them though. If they'd grouped the golden hour,
Yeah, they should have.
then that probably would have won.
But I think that's the problem with the moment. You have to sort of go, it's that
particular bank there,
thing,
right there.
bang. But anyway, I think the rowing 8, the men's, because it was just what the hell? Not even expecting them to.
Yeah, because they
win a
came
medal.
from the repoussage.
They came from the repoussage, and they came from the last chance saloon regatta before the Olympics over in Switzerland. They said, no, you're not going to the Olympics. You've got to go to Switzerland. You got to basically do this, and yeah.
And then they won.
Yeah.
So that's you, the 8. I'm just completely biased and going for the World Test Championship.
No, I'm saying that those are the 3, and then you go World Test Champs. Those are the to me were the biggest moments. It felt that way.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting the goat in the boat to win.
Oh, absolutely. And to be fair, I was expecting, even though it was great to see the Blackfern Sevens to win, because they're a good team, and they constantly win on the circuit. So I was half expecting them to win, but they were great to watch.
They were great to watch. That great moment was actually beating Fiji.
Oh yes, in the final seconds,
in the semi-final,
Jesus,
where Fiji got absolutely shafted by the reps, and you're going, well, that's good. That's good for us. But you're going, wow, Fiji look good.
Yeah.
The ref sort of called them back for a couple of tries, and it's like, wow, we're riding our luck here. And then by the time we got to the final, we went, oh, we've got to win. We've had our sort of get out of jail free card.
Right, white on of the week. Sporting highlight from the week gone by for you, James McOnie.
Oh no, what's yours?
Mine is I debuted watching NFL.
Oh,
and I watched the LA Rams beat.
It was a thrashing.
It was a thrashing. It was a great that first quarter.
The Arizona Cardinals.
It was the first time I watched it, and to be honest with you, I was actually more impressed with the stadium. That LA Rams stadium they play in LA. Holy shitballs! That is an amazing stadium, fully covered, and the coverage is great. I love all the build up, and the coverage is all the on the field and all the hype, and they do these weird. Like computer graphics, like it's in a computer game, and they recreate scenes like they're driving motorhomes.
They do that. Yeah,
So I watched the first quarter, and I'm still struggling a bit with some of the rules. Like there was one stage there was a forward pass. They got a penalty for a forward pass because they threw it back to the quarterback, and he gave it to someone else, and then the other guy then threw it forward when it should have been thrown back. I didn't get that. Anyway,
I think when you cross the line of scrimmage, you can't throw it forward.
Oh, okay. That was what it was.
I think you're allowed to do a double whammy, like between 2 people and throw, as long as you're back. Anyway, I'm not sure.
The Rams are all over it, though, because 21 points up. It was a great quarter to watch on my debut of watching NFL. So that gave me a small...
You've never watched it before?
I've never really sat... Super Bowl, I maybe drunk some piss in the pub and it's on in the background, but I've never sat down and diligently watched it. It helps that I've got a TV right next to my desk at work. So,
well, here's a life hack for watching Super Bowl. Did you watch it on ESPN?
Yes.
So the ads just repeat and repeat and repeat, and it drives you slowly insane because they're all promos. And I need to talk to ESPN about that because we can change that. We can help you with that ESPN. It can be done.
Well, they insert local ads into it, don't they, as well?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. But I mean, their ads, they have the same promos playing for sometimes over a month, which is like that's rough. And you know how many ads there are in American sport.
Yeah.
So you can see the same promo / ad for ESPN coverage coming up. I don't know, 50 times a day, easy. So Look, the life hack for watching American football is to start an hour late and have it on pause, and then you fast forward through all the
PVR.
ads. Yeah, and then by the time it comes down to the last quarter or the last 5 minutes, and it's a good game, then it's all going off, and things happen fast, and they almost look like there's a continuity thing going on because they're going, we've got to set the line of scrimmage quickly and keep on doing the plays, and we've got to go fast, and that doesn't often happen in that game.
Well, I got a hack for NBA as well. NBA League Pass. Have you got NBA League
Yes.
Pass?
Yeah.
Oh, how good's that? Because you
Yeah.
can just wipe out all of the ads, and then you get all of the coverage that happens in stadium.
In-game experience, yeah.
So the kiss cam, all the
Cheerleaders.
cheerleaders,
The boomers
all,
dancing.
all the stuff that goes on. in
Red
between-
Panda flipping the cups up onto her head, the halftime entertainment,
Yeah,
the
like-
contortionists.
mascots punching each other in their head. Like it actually makes it far more entertaining when you've got that with no ads or anything.
If you've got it on a good TV, it actually is a proper in-stadium experience. So I totally agree. The NBA, I've got the NBA League Pass. I didn't realise you had that.
Ralph Lane, my son, my 9-year-old, who's basically dressed head to toe in Golden State Warriors and Chicago Bulls gear because he loves Michael Jordan and he loves Steph Curry.
Wow, he loves Michael Jordan.
He loves Michael Jordan. I've naively let a 9-year-old watch The Last Dance, thinking, it wasn't that bad. I watched it first time, but
Good documentary.
there's a lot of fucks and shits, and there's a lot of Dennis Rodman banging Carmen Electra in the hotel room, and they go into detail of Michael Jordan storming in, and Carmen Electra's like nude, and he's like, my son's like, Dad, why is Dennis Rodman? Why is he on a motorbike with no helmet? And why has he got a beer in his hand? Why did he go to Las Vegas in the middle of the season? I was like,
Hard to explain.
I was like, he just needed a holiday. Really?
I love how there's no problem with the hairdo and all those sort of the weird things that are totally,
Yeah.
but it's like, wait a second, this relationship stuff and
I know. It's the Carmen Electra.
the Carmen Electra
They
thing,
interview
come
Carmen
on.
Electra, and she's sitting there, massive fake, like all plastic surgery up.
Yeah.
And Ralph's like, who is that? What's wrong with their face? But anyway, I actually had to say to Ralph that you're going to have to model yourself on Rodman and how he plays, because Ralph Lane, my son, is extremely tall because he's got a very tall family on my wife's side. So he's going to be tall, but not so much a shooter, but very good on defense and offense. And
He's a hustle guy.
He's
He's going to do the grunt work.
and I said, you got to be Dennis Rodman. You got to be hustling under the hoop. You got to be like elbows out. No nonsense. But he's like, do I have to get a haircut like that? I was like, no, but you got a pretty bad haircut already. So I think you're halfway there. But just no riding motorbikes with a helmet.
I say yes, get a haircut like that, Ralph Lane.
Well, he's
I'm
got
gonna
a.
make
Have you
sure.
seen his mullet? He's got a massive, huge mullet.
Great.
He had a great comeback for our kid at school. Ralph said, "No, nice haircut," to a guy who just got his haircut. He goes, "Shut up, Ralph! You got the worst haircut in school." And he goes, "I know." It was good. He owns it. He loves it.
So in terms of watching the basketball,
Yes.
totally agree. It is bloody good having the lack of ads, and the only ads that you fed are the sort of like whatever is happening in stadium, really. And so you kind of go, oh yeah, because they say come on down to such and such oil and lube, and they do that fake sort of car race around the state. Who's going to win this week? And they go, there's some sort of fan of the week type prize, and you've got the person who has to shoot a free throw and a half court and then a three maybe to get some bonus money. There's always some dodgy casino that sponsors these little events because you can see that nobody's going to win anything. Like they have to guess like what player number is coming up next. It's like, I wonder, casino, whether anybody's going to win 100K.
It's good though.
Not
it's good
tonight.
to watch. It's good to watch.
Oh, it is good.
It is good to watch. So that's my So my white on is NFL. I dipped the toes in and it gave me a little white on. That's them to me. So
I'm trying to think of what sport I've watched this week because I had a little look at the Ashes. The Aussie Open, it's preliminary.
Oh, and Djokovic is gone. Our last podcast we were talking about we should have double blow darted him. And the drama. They've lost the drama.
Well, we wanted a ball boy to go up and jab him, didn't
Yeah.
we? And just get him and go, that's one.
And then from the back of the stand, so a Papua New
Someone from Papua
Guinean
New Guinea goes,
yeah,
and that's right.
and the crowd just starts. That's two. Anyway, he's gone. So the drama's gone out of the Australian Open. I don't actually care about it anymore.
Oh, exactly. He's on 20. Well, Roger's not there, but Rafa's on 20, so that if Rafa goes to 21, everyone say, "Oh, it's not
Wasn't a
really
real one.
count."
Wasn't a real one.
If you beat if you beat Zverev or Shapovalov, or even if you beat Medvedev, who's probably the fave, it's not going to be that exciting, or not as exciting.
So, okay, well, let's move on. Let's move on, Tim. I've got one from McOnie Road Studios.
Right, what's that?
Yeah, I sung it before. I want the Snake song. I want the Snake song to go all around the stadiums of New Zealand.
You can't stop the snake.
You can't stop the snake. But when you do it, you got to point to security and go, you. So you go.
Yeah.
And the more you can drop the you, so you can't. And you start it slowly. You go, you can't stop the snake. It said, you can't stop the snake. You can't stop the snake. It said, you can't stop the snake. You can't stop the snake. It said, you can't stop the snake. You. So it goes like that. So over and over.
I'm sure that'll catch on.
Yeah.
Last week I was I hope that it does. I hope we need more chanting in the stands. As I've always said, I'm always trying to come up with Chiefs chants. They never catch on.
Yeah, well, yours are very complex. It involves harmonies and
Anton Leonard Brown, Tom Leonard Brown, and there is Sam Cane.
And there is Sam Cane.
Well, I was talking to my one of our cameraman at Crowd Goes Wild, Carrie Hollinger. He was saying, "What about all the Leonards are brown?" I went, "Wait a second. What about all the Leonard Browns?" You can't say all the Leonards are brown, not in the current climate. But all the Leonard Browns, the Leonard Browns are going to the game, going to the game. I went for a walk with mum and dad, and hopefully one of their names is Jane, and their name is Jane.
And their name is Jane.
Yeah. That's exactly what.
So
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Right.
Attendance required for this week.
Well, it's more NFL actually, because to be honest, I think that right now you've got the anti-vaxxer, what's his face, Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to be.
God, thank God Matt Heath isn't here, bang on for about 5 minutes about Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
He loves Aaron Rodgers. He's got a huge wide on for Aaron Rodgers. Huge one.
It's dropped off my
Throbbing one.
tribe app.
Throbbing one.
He loves. Is he a Packers fan?
I don't know if he's a Packers fan, but he's definitely an Aaron Rodgers fan, so he must be.
Is he
must
an
be.
anti-vaxxer?
I'm a Rams fan now. I was a Dolphins just purely because of Ace Ventura. Laces out.
Laces out.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. So, but now.
Wow, you know a lot about that movie. Hey, that's good. I think we should have mentioned Ace Ventura as a sports movie this morning on Hauraki Breakfast. Anyway, what you've got is on Sunday, Father's Day, you've got Titans versus Bengals. Bengals. Yeah. Their chant is they go, if you say Bengals, they go, "Who dey?" That's what anyone from Cincinnati will yell that at you. That's on Sunday morning. Then you got the Packers, your mate Aaron Rodgers, at 2:15 against the 49ers, which is 20 short of a really nice team.
The 69ers.
It's a really nice team.
And a big shout out to Katie Martin too, who during the last Test match,
All right,
said that's a very, very nice average.
Who had 69 as an average?
It was 0.69 or something like that. It was very good.
Very good. And then you've got Tom Brady and the Buccaneers against the LA Rams, I guess is your new team.
Yeah, LA Rams. Rams all the way.
Rams all the way.
Brady can get fucked, the old guy.
And then, well, he is proper old Ram with the dangling testes.
Yeah, he needs to walk around with just big old balls hanging between his legs.
He needs those tight pants more than anyone, doesn't he? Keep him up. Otherwise,
So keep him together.
Yeah, keep the testes together. Yeah, because he's in Florida as well, so they'll be loose as a goose there. If he plays in the cold weather, he'll be fine.
Is that the way to go?
All testes up, right? So
testes out. Testes out.
Testes up. So then you've got the Chiefs against the Bills. That's on Monday. So that's kind of, they call them the divisional round of semi-finals, but it's really just your quarterfinals, basically.
Okay, I'm going to go for attendance required. For me, it's got to be the Black Clash on Saturday night, 6:30 on TV1, purely because we're commentating it. I got a funny feeling. We've been doing it for 3 years now, maybe 4. This might be the 4th year of the Black Clash. And I feel every time it's our last. So I think this might be our last because we light up the TVNZ switchboard so much because people watch it. It's a fun game. It's entertainment. It's not a serious game. Yet they think the commentators should be.
And they think it should be sacred.
Oh,
I know. They
and
don't want
they're
you
like,
having fun at all.
No, it's like I think last year we got the biggest complaints around Jason Hoyt going to the toilet mid commentary. Like, I would say apologies about Jason Hoyt. He's had to go toilet. He failed to remember to go wheeze at lunchtime. So he's just going to. People were like, the professionalism is disgusting. Commentators should go to the toilet during the break. Why should they go? And
It's on TV1 though.
I know, it's great.
That's what you get.
I know. And then the other one was Jason Hoyt talking about his tranny as well. But that's that caused all sorts of issues as well, saying he keeps his tranny in the garage and he listens to cricket with his tranny. And and like, harmless stuff, but
Just twiddling the knob on my tranny and that's the whole thing if you're doing that.
I know, yeah. So that kind of, and then there was all sorts. So it could be the last. It's myself, Jason Hoyt, Matt Heath, and Jeremy Wells. If we can find Jeremy Wells, he's in Able Tasman National Park somewhere. If we can extract him in Tauranga. So yeah, that's 6:30 TVNZ 1. And Jordan Oppett and Guy Havelt are joining us as well. So from TVNZ,
they're going to be the ones who's like, right, breach.
Did they hear that?
Go to the toilet now. Everybody go to the toilet.
We'll have to
Guy
go.
Havelt will be like, have you gone wheeze? Have you?
No wee, no ski. No wee, no ski. Oh, and by the way, last night I played cricket last night. Last man stands.
You got one on the shin.
Look at that there. I didn't get it on the calf. I opened up the stance and looked to heave it through mid wicket.
Yeah.
And I preempted it. It was a preemptive, so I opened myself up, and the guy put it right in the slot, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking murder this. And swung so hard inside edge straight into my calf, and it is.
Did you hit the deck?
It is blowing up. Nah, I was like,
You didn't Labuschagne it?
I didn't Labuschagne. I didn't fall over. But saying that, I got hit on the pads twice. I was first game back for a while, and it was 4 balls, and I was trying to flick them through mid wicket, and I missed 2 in a row, and it hit me in the pads, going miles down leg. They appealed, and the umpire's like, not out. And then bowler's like, and he goes, well, if you hit him on the pads again, I'll give him out. And Jesse, who was batting with the other end, walks down the pitch, goes, don't get a hit on the pads again. The umpire said he's just going to fire you if you get hit on the pads again. I was like, what? You fucking serious? I was like, so I backed away and smoked it over cover instead.
Yeah.
But it was like the umpire
Did you get any runs? I don't know why I'm interested in your...
I got 28.
Oh, there you go.
28, and I holed out. I got a full toss. I got holed out in the longest boundary, caught in the boundary.
Yeah.
We lost. We collapsed. It was a calypso for us, but only chasing 158, out for 140.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. But there we go. Last man stands. It's a great league. I'd recommend if you've got you can scrape together 8 people a week. I'd highly recommend Last Man Stands. It's a 2-hour. Look, it's not great if you're a bowler. The ego takes quite a battering because I've never seen so many sixes get hit in games because guys come in and just fucking wallop you for the biggest sixes you'll ever see.
Oh, and also if you're bowling with any pace, you're pretty much dealt to anyway because it's the when Last Man Stands, the accepted way to open the bowling is with lollipops, like absolute little dollies, and because they're quite hard to generate anything off, and people first up as well, even though you're just opening in Business House or whatever, T20 cricket, people still get a few sighters, right?
Yeah.
So if you can get some guy who's bowling these absolute loopy old pies, they just treat them with way too much respect because they don't want the last thing they want to do is get out to a muppet.
Yeah.
And so they open with a muppet, and it's just like, this whole thing. And if you're bowling reasonably consistently, it's the worst thing. It's like the time when old Sonny Gavaskar took to Ewan Chatfield because his line and length was too predictable. So Sonny Gavaskar sort of took 2 steps down the pitch.
And everything was a half volley. Chats would have been like, what the fuck's going on here?
He's still down the end of the pitch, but I just can't work out what's going on.
Also, the disappointing thing is there's only 8 players. So you got the keeper and you, so there's only 6 players in the outfield. So usually you just spread them 3 either side. But that's a lot of real estate that's left open as well.
That's true.
And a lot of people get rewarded for nicks and skying balls, and including myself. I nicked 3 through first slip yesterday. Yeah. So I said it was a late cut, but it wasn't. But it is a good league. Sign up if you can. I think they've just opened one in Counties Manukau. Actually, a league in Auckland. It's good fun.
They just need to change that stupid rule of not being able to run.
When you get
through.
Caught. When you get caught, yeah.
Because in the end, that speeds the game up anyway. Because the player who's already there is down the other end, and it means that the other person. Why does it help?
It is a game changer in terms of if you can pull it off. It's a double out. It does change the game. So I quite like the fact you can do that. It doesn't happen as much. It only happens when you get a ring in.
A ring in,
yeah, and the ring in got no fucking idea.
I know.
But you can.
That's the whole thing.
But what you can do is you can run a 2. I didn't know this in Last Man Stand. So if this catch goes up, the person, the non-striker, can run. If they can get there and back, that's 2 runs. They get 2 runs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you can double play it as well. So you can run it, hoon it back.
If you can hoon back in time.
Yeah.
That'd be quite classic. So they have to. Oh,
so
yeah,
I
see what you mean. Yeah.
So you got to get home again.
Well, that's something. I just think it's a stupid rule. But anyway, there's no real need for it because, like you say, you've got bugger all fielders. You got people bowling all these dollies and pies.
Yeah.
And you're all bowling from the same end as well, right?
Yes.
All speeds. It's all there to speed it up.
It's all there to get it over and done with. Starts at 5:30. It's over at before 8. Also, I've lined a game up between us and MediaWorks.
Oh,
as well. Yeah. So it's grudge match. Grudge match probably played at the Devonport Domain. Home patch, so we can at least give a small advantage.
There's some good cricketers over there.
I know. So we're going to line that up at the end of March. So we better start warming up. Oh, speaking of which,
Lee Hart better start drinking because I think that he is a better bowler drunk.
Yeah.
He got the hairy jab out drunk when there was a competition to bowl 6 deliveries.
No, that was Guptill, but he also got him out in the.
So is Guppy, yeah.
But he got the hairy jab out in the Dulux game.
In the Dulux game, but anyway, you had to bowl 6 deliveries to the hairy to Guppy, the hairy Gup. And I think he turned up from the Radio Hauraki Christmas
party. Yeah, he was peeled
with his son, and somehow I think
he came with Scotty Stevenson, didn't he?
See, maybe Scotty was driving, but anyway, or Ange or someone. But anyway, he turns up, and I'm just going, I don't think he can bowl, but he can, and he was practicing as well in the nets, which may have helped because in the nets he was hitting the side netting and stuff. I was going,
the classic
when you move him and spin him around like this way, that way, like
he had to change his axis
like a giant compass. And then he was a big compass, and so he came in and bowled to Guppy, and Guppy couldn't get hold of him once because it was just everything was random.
Yeah,
different pace, different spin, different delivery, different line, and then he strangled him down leg.
Yeah. And Lee says that. He goes, I don't think, he's like, I didn't know what was coming out of the hand, and so neither did Guppy, so it was my plan.
Yeah, actually, it was even, I don't know what, it might have actually been a sort of a short, fine leg, so it was actually almost like a perfect field setting too.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
That was quite a good little competition. The next year, though, was a little harder because you had Ish Sodhi bowling at you. That was a little tougher when you had people trying to hit sixes.
Oh, he should have bowled me in the first 2 balls. They pretty much beat me out easily outside the off stump, and then I started to connect, and then you get a bit confident. But he bowled me a last man stands loopy one right at the end, which threw me.
Oh, they're the worst to hit.
Yeah,
that's like facing Matt Heath. The ball takes so long to get to you. You've got too much time to think. You're like, oh fuck, what am I going to do with this? Fuck, and you end up going just blocking it back.
Yeah. Have it again.
Yeah,
and the thing is, they think they've done a good delivery, which is the ultimate disservice to this whole. Last man stand / loopy. It's a revival. It's a loopy revival.
Yeah. Because
all these guys who bowl that stuff, they would never have even got a bowl in even the worst cricket team in the world. But suddenly they're your opener.
It's channeling Jeremy Coney in the nudes. Yeah. He called them nudes because he'd send them down with nothing on them.
Ah, yes.
Yes. So that's the Coney. So and also another game we're playing.
No relation, by the way.
The ACC are playing this Friday against the Movember 11 out in a. What's it called? Is it Matapihi? The private cricket ground just by the airport in Mount Ranui.
Oh, right.
So we've got that. That game kicks
When's
off.
This?
4:00 on Friday.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's welcome to come down and watch if you want. I think it's Matapihi.
It's a lot of cricket this summer.
I know.
Just none that you care about.
I know. I'm just trying to fill the void. I'm filling the void by trying to play and put on as many as possible.
So if the Black Clash is taken too seriously because it's on Boomer TV, what about having another game that the Black Clash is obviously successful.
Like a testimony, like the old school testimonials.
Yeah, like just a kind of, because it sounds like you can probably rustle up enough players if you put enough beers on for them. They seem to flock.
Yeah.
They get paid good coin as a match fee.
I believe they do.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Hey.
I mean, there's 10,000 people coming. It's been sold out for a couple of weeks. So it's a crowd pleaser. But,
Well,
mainly it's due to Will Jordan and Richie McCaw and maybe.
I could get you my close personal friend Dion Nash, who
Why isn't he playing?
he should play, but he's too competitive.
Oh,
He'd kill
spoil it.
people, he'd end
Yeah,
people.
you're right. He'd start bumpering people.
If anybody hit him for even like more than one run, if anyone hit him for 2, he'd say, "All right then," and then just
Come off steaming and off the long run.
And Richie McCaw would be like, "Ah!"
Well, I saw Shane Bond winding up in the nets as well. That's
Oh,
going to be.
mate.
I wouldn't want to be facing him.
Nashi is still lean and quick, and in our touch team, he was our best touch player for a long time. He's fast. He's like proper fast.
Yeah.
So he'd score these tries, and I'd be like, okay. The one thing he couldn't do was run fast, pass slow. You know, like do a nice pass. He's run fast. So everything he threw at you as a pass was like a freaking bullet. Yeah, it was like a Yorker or what the hell? Beamer.
And then he'd go,
Be in
the gap, McOnie.
Take that catch. It's like, yeah, chill out. So, no, he should be invited, but yeah, there could be problems if anyone tried to hit him.
Yes, wouldn't want to mic him up
No.
either. Very good. Excellent. Okay, then. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week when Matt Heath returns from the beach volleyball down in the Dunedin Croquet Club.